Screen Recording Basics for Windows PowerPoint is part of a series of online demonstrations of material that can be found on the CL Open Resource Repository. In this workshop, we'll explore tips before you begin, PowerPoint screen recording overview, how to use PowerPoint as a screen recorder, styling and trimming your video, reducing the file size of presentations, saving your presentation, exporting your video as MP4, combining or editing clips in Windows Photos, uploading your MP4 to Learn, and linking your MP4 to your page in Learn. So some tips before you begin. For best results, recording should be done in a carpeted room or a room with a large area rug. If that's not your current reality, that's okay. You could put down a large comforter or some pillows on the floor. Really what we're looking to do is to dampen the noise, which is going to help reduce the room echo. You also want to eliminate background noises such as fans or lights. And try to select a time of day when children, pets are more likely to be quieter inside the home, so you can really aim to reduce the amount of background noise and distractions that could be picked up during your recording. Any other devices in the room that you aren't using for recording should be muted or powered off, so that doesn't introduce any additional noises or hums from electronics into your recording. In terms of recording accessories, we recommend that you use an external microphone or one that's part of a headset. Built-in microphones can pick up sounds of your computer fan, so an external microphone is really the better choice. Doesn't need to be anything super expensive or sophisticated. The headset that I'm using right now was recently purchased off Amazon around the $40 mark, and I found the quality actually is quite good. You'll need to ensure that your microphone and headphones are set up properly so that PowerPoint knows which device to serve as your microphone and which device should serve as your playback for recorded audio. So to do this, we're going to make sure your microphone and headphones are plugged into your computer. And on your PC, you're going to search for sound settings. And this will come up. And you're going to see you have an option to select your output device, which is currently set to my headset, and my input device, which again is set to my headset, so the microphone on my headset, and you can see that my audio is getting picked up here. Okay, let's go ahead and open PowerPoint. Okay, so here we are. First, a reminder that PowerPoint is available to all Waterloo faculty and students as part of Office 365. If you don't already have PowerPoint or the latest version, Office 365, I encourage you to install this software sometime in the near future so that you have access to all of the features that I'll be demoing in this presentation. So not everyone's aware that PowerPoint can be used as a screen recorder, meaning that you can record other apps, videos, images, pretty much anything that you bring inside that recording window is going to be captured as part of your screen capture right within PowerPoint. And the end product is going to be either a video that appears on an existing slide in your presentation or an MP4 video that can be exported from PowerPoint as a standalone video file. So I'm going to actually show you how to do both. Okay, so let's have a look at how to use PowerPoint as a screen recorder. So I've already got a presentation open here, and I'm going to go up to the Insert tab here, and I'm going to scroll over to Media and drop that down. And we see there's an option for screen recording. I've got my window partially minimized here. If it was full screen, screen recording would actually be visible on the far right side by default. So I'm going to go ahead and click on screen recording. And you see that there's a control dock that has launched. You see that there's gray area around here and a dashed line, which is actually showing me the recording area. I can change that by clicking on Select Area. And it's just a matter of clicking and drawing out a box, which will be the recording area of your screen capture. Let's jump back up to the control dock. You see here there's a recording button, as well as stop. The ability to capture my audio, which I can disable if I like. Also the ability to record my pointer. I'm going to leave that off for this demonstration. On the control dock, there's a little pin here. So if I press this, it will keep the control dock open at all times. If I leave it disabled, it will actually roll away out of view while I'm doing my recording. I'm actually going to pin it just so that it stays up for us. But if you notice here, my selected area is actually below the control dock, so it will not record the control dock as part of my screen recording. So before I click record, I just want to make sure that I have all my files ready to go that I'm going to include as part of my screen capture. My screen capture can be as long or as short as I like, and I can do it over several captures or all in one. And I'm going to show you here how I can stitch together a few things as part of one single screen capture. So I have files already ready to go here that I plan to use as part of my capture. I've got a diagram, I've got an Excel spreadsheet, I've got 2 different videos here as well. So they're all ready to go. I do want to make sure that my selected area represents the size of my media. So I'm going to bring up my diagram first and grab the select area tool, and I'm going to draw just along the outside of this diagram. So this is what's going to be recorded in my screen capture. If I like, I can reposition this graphic as needed. That looks great. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click record, and I'm going to start my screen capture. In this module, we'll continue to deepen our scientific understanding of Earth as a complex, interrelated system and examine the impact of human-induced changes. I can click pause. I can minimize this graphic, and I'm going to go down here and bring up a video that I'd like to play as part of my screen capture. So I'm going to click play here and then record at the top. I'm going to click pause again, and I can move this video down. I'm going to bring up my second video here, and I will hit play
Earth right now
and record.
Good news, bad news story. There is bad news about the Earth, but there is some good news, and that is the recovery of the ozone layer.
So I can actually narrate over this if I like.
That ozone holes will be consistently smaller than 8 million square miles by 2040.
Hit pause, and I'm going to minimize this. I have one more thing to bring up, which is my Excel document, just to demonstrate that I can work through a spreadsheet or something similar directly in my screen capture. So I'll hit record, and I can type here, and everything that I'm doing in my spreadsheet will get captured as part of my screen capture. So I'm going to press stop because I'm done my recording. Okay, once you've stopped the recording, your video, your screen capture, will appear embedded on the slide where you triggered the recording. So I started on slide 3, so that's where it's placed it. You can select this, you can move it around and resize if you like. I'll just play it for you quickly. In this module, we'll continue to deepen our scientific understanding of bad news about the Earth, but there is some good news, and that is the recovery of the ozone. And I can type, get captured as part of my screen capture. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Let's have a look at some editing options. So there are a few options in PowerPoint in terms of styling and trimming your video. With your video selected on your slide, if you right-click, there's some options that show up top here. The first is Style. If I select that, you see that there's a bunch of options for borders and drop shadows. I caution using things that would skew the video, which could be an accessibility concern. So if you do want to style it, I'd recommend sticking to some of the more basic styles. You can adjust the trim of your video, so I can adjust the beginning, by shortening it up, and the end if I like. So I'll just hit OK. There's also an option to change how the video plays, so either automatically or when clicked on. So if you're leaving this in your PowerPoint presentation, I recommend changing it to automatic so it plays through with the rest of your slides. Okay, so I think that our screen capture is good to go. If I didn't like it or I wanted to redo it, I can just select it on the slide and click delete on my keyboard, and there it goes. But for the sake of our demo, I think it turned out just fine. I would like to compress this project and reduce the file size, assuming that I'm going to be posting my PowerPoint to Learn, so I'll show you how to do that. So if you go up to the File menu and select Info, there's an option here to compress media, and we see that the media files in the presentation are 13 megabyte currently. So if I click Compress Media, I have a couple options here. I'm going to pick Full HD at 1080p, and it's going to run the compression tool. And I'll click Close, and we see now that the media files in the presentation are only 6.9 meg. All right, so I'm ready to save my presentation. It's just a matter of going up to File, Save As, and I'm going to browse to the location that I'd like to save it. Okay, so I have a test presentation already saved here. I'm just going to select and save over that. So my presentation is now saved. Suppose though I didn't want to post my presentation as a PowerPoint presentation. Let's say I wanted to export this as its own standalone MP4 video. I can select it on my slide, right click, and choose Save Media As. Again, I'll browse to the folder I'd like to save it in, and I'm just going to call this test presentation as well. And it's saying the file type is media file, but actually when I save this, it's going to export this as an MP4 video file. So I'll click Save. And I'm going to browse to my folder here just to double check that they're both there, and I see my PowerPoint there as well as my MP4. So I'll just launch my MP4 quick. And there it is. One thing that you may have noticed is that PowerPoint doesn't really have a lot of options in terms of editing. As we've seen before, there's the ability to trim the start and the beginning, but we won't really have the option to do much with the middle, or really to add videos together unless you're putting them on separate slides or sort of stitching them together as part of your initial screen capture. So I want to show you a quick little hidden tool in Windows that can help you with those things. Okay, so I'm going to browse to the folder where I exported my video. And I've placed another video in here, Ozone, which was one of the ones I've used to do my screen recording, but I just want to have a look at maybe combining these two using a different editor. So we're going to look at Windows Photos. I'm going to select my video, my MP4, and right click and go Open with Photos. So now we see that my MP4 has opened in Windows Photos, and this is actually a little editing program that has quite a few features. So if we click on Edit and Create, you see here we have the ability to trim, also add slow motion. We can save photos from a frame in our video. We can draw on it. We can create a video with text. So there's a lot of options here. So we're actually going to click on Create a Video with Text. Now, whether or not we use text or not, what this is going to do is open up the video editor to give us a bit more options. So now we see the video editor has launched. We're just going to name this video Test Video. Press OK. So now we see that my video is actually part of a bigger editing program that is behind the scenes in Windows Photos. I can actually click here to add another video. So I'm going to browse to that folder. And here's the second video I put in there. So I'm going to click to open. And there it is. I can click and drag this next to my first video on the timeline here. And now I have the ability to actually trim each of these videos using the tools up top. I can split a video if I have it selected. So I can move this slider and maybe I want to split it right here. And now I've got two clips and I can trim the ends if I like to adjust it further. There's filters, 3D effects, you can add text, there's background music, you can add custom audio. There's a lot of different things you can do in this editor, all within Windows Photos. I'm not able to go into depth with this program today, but I did want to show you a few things that it can do, and I encourage you to play around with it in your own time just to see how it can help with your own projects and presentations. So from here, I can actually click Finish Video, and it would export my video at the quality that I choose. So I'm going to leave that for now. I do have my MP4 that I've already saved from PowerPoint and my PowerPoint presentation to post to Learn. So let's go back to that. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Learn. Okay, so I've got my course here in Learn, and I've got my module landing page. I would like to link directly to my video and my presentation here in the content section on my Module 1 page. So I'm going to show you how to do a quick link in Learn. We recognize that there's more than one way of uploading files to your course, but this is a good way to include a link that falls directly in line with the content on your page. So first of all, we need to make sure that the media files have been uploaded to our course. So I'm going to click on Course Admin, and then Manage Files. And from here, I've already gone ahead and created a folder for presentations and a folder for video. So let me open video, and we're going to post our MP4 to this section first. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going to click Upload, and I'm going to bring my MP4 here and drag it straight up into the upload field and click Save. I'm going to back out one level here, and I'm going to go into my presentation folder, and while I'm here, I'm going to post my PowerPoint here as well. So let's go to Upload, and then there's my presentation. Drag it into the uploader, and click Save. So I've uploaded my MP4 and my PowerPoint to the back end of my course. Let's jump back over to my page, which is right here. And again, I want to create links, one here from my MP4 and one here from my presentation. You don't need to do both in this way. I'm just demoing it because I'm not sure which way you'd like to do it. So you do have the option to link to MP4 and PowerPoint, showing you both ways. So let's go and edit HTML. And I want my quick link, my link to my video to appear right here. So I'm just going to delete that for now and put my cursor right here where I want my link to go. On the Learn editor, I will click Insert Quick Link, Course File, Video, and here's my file. So instead of clicking on it directly from here, which would insert a link title that is the name of this file, which would be an ugly link, let's click on the pencil for options, and we're going to change this to Test Presentation. We're going to leave this as Open in New Window, which means when a student clicks on the link, it's going to launch that MP4 video in a new window and play it with the default video player on their computer. I'll click Insert, and then there's my link. And I've indicated that it's an MP4 file, which is good practice, just so a student knows what to expect when they're opening this link. And I've also got a time code behind here, which again is good practice, just to set student expectations of how long it should take them to move through that material. So if I go back over to my video file here, there's my MP4. I see that the length is 56 seconds, so approximately 1 minute. So I can go back over to my page here and put approximately 1 minute, save and close. All right, so let's have a look at linking my PowerPoint presentation. So again, edit HTML. And then this is where I'd like my presentation to go. I'm going to click Insert Quick Link, Course File, Presentations, and here's my PowerPoint. Again, not going to click on it right from here because that will be my link name. So let's click on to Edit Options. Just going to call it Presentation. So for a PowerPoint presentation, I'm going to change the target to same frame. And this is different because what's happening is when they click on it, it's going to prompt a download of the presentation to their computer. So I'm going to click Insert, Save and Close. Okay, so let's click on this. This should open my video, my MP4 in a new window. In this module, we'll continue to deepen our scientific understanding of Earth, its system, and examine the impact of a screen capture. Perfect. Okay. So also, let's test the presentation. So again, I'm clicking on this. It should download to my computer. So there it is. Let's open that up. And there you have it. I'd like to thank you for your interest in this workshop. Please visit the links that we provided on the Open Resource Repository page for more information about this workshop, as well as other workshops that may be of use to you in creating your course content.